So this was on February 2nd, 2006. I went into a coma and my body started to completely shut down. The organs had shut down. And the doctors told Danny and my family that these were my final hours. And they said I wouldn't be coming out of the coma. And basically this was death. Death had started. I had been in so much pain and so much fear up to that point. But when I went into the coma, it was as though I had left my body. And it felt incredible. I was no longer attached to my body. And I felt light and I felt free. And I was aware that my physical body was lying there on the hospital bed. And I was aware that Danny was there and he was holding my hand, willing me to come back. My mom was there. I was aware that my brother was on his way. He was flying to see me. And then I became aware of so much more than what was happening in the hospital room. I was aware of what the doctors were saying and beyond the room. So I wasn't looking at all this with my physical eyes because my eyes were closed, but it was more like an awareness. So it was like a 360-degree awareness. And it reached well beyond the room. But that awareness, it felt like it was growing. It felt like I was expanding and expanding. And then I became aware of other beings, non-physical beings, some of whom I recognized as my loved ones who had passed away, like my dad, my best friend. And they were all there to greet me. And then there were other beings that I didn't recognize, who could have been my guides, guardian angels, and they were there to help me through this process. And in that space, so much happened. I mean, I was in the coma for about 30 hours, but so much unfolded where I understood why I had got sick. I understood how it was that every thought and decision and choice I had made in my life had led me to that point of being in that hospital bed dying. And my dad wanted me to know that it wasn't my time. And then I started to see my future unfold before me. I became aware that I had a mission, I had a purpose. Danny was part of the purpose. I became aware that I was going to be helping a lot of people, but I didn't know how or what I was going to be doing. But my dad kept saying to me, all you have to do is just go back and live your life fearlessly,